Hello ladies and gentlemen, I've recently gotten into tabletop RPGs and today we're going to have a bit of story time about a recent game I played with some internet friends. I was playing a game of Gurps with some online friends of mine. We were looking to make it a short one-shot campaign, so the GM pre-made our characters to speed along the process. Each character was a different archetype. I was known as the Brain. We also had the Muscle, the Ghost, the Faceman, and the Safecracker. We were tasked with stealing a Van Gogh painting from a bank vault. The anonymous person who tasked us with this offered $3 million apiece if we didn't cause a police incident, and $1 million apiece if we did. Time to gather some information. I was first. I went to the bank we were targeting, which was known as the First, Third, 22nd National Bank. We were using an online program to see the bank's map. The GM didn't have an icon for bank tellers, so he just used one for a pimp instead. I decided to open a safety deposit box so I could get a good look at the area. This mission was successful but relatively uneventful. I got a look at the safety deposit box, and I also snuck a peek at some larger, more secure bank vaults as well. I asked the teller who was escorting me what they were for, and she explained that they were for larger and more valuable objects, but were more expensive to rent. That's where the Van Gogh painting would be. After that, I used the bathroom break to go take a look upstairs. I accidentally entered the women's bathroom, but there was no one in there, so it wasn't a problem. After I'd gotten a good look at the area and identified all the security cameras I could find, I exited the building to go loiter outside. Then it was time for someone else to step up. The Muscle was to get a job as a janitor. That way we'd have an inside job, thus making the painting easier to steal. Unfortunately, after asking for a job, the Muscle was informed that there were no openings for a janitor at that time. So, the Muscle headed to the bathroom, covered it in toilet paper, and flooded the sinks. The Muscle wasn't very stealthy, however, and a security guard came into the bathroom to see what was going on. Instead of thinking of an explanation, the Muscle resorted to making mooing noises while being dragged out of the building by two guards. I apologized to the guards and lied, saying that the Muscle was actually my mentally ill brother who forgot to take his medication that morning. We were both asked to leave. Once we returned to the safe house, I hacked into the bank security cameras to see where the blind spots were. This was useful in forming a plan, but we decided to get a copy of the blueprints to get a maximum amount of information. The Faceman was a charismatic ally of ours. His job was to gather the bank's blueprints. He was able to smooth talk a clerk at the county clerk's office to get a picture of the blueprints because diplomacy. Meanwhile, the Ghost and the Safecracker went to go pretend to open a credit account. While they were in the bank, I hacked into the security cameras to see what was happening. The Ghost was meeting with a bank teller to open a credit account. She excused herself during the middle of the meeting to answer a fake phone call. Leaving the Safecracker to awkwardly make small talk with the bank teller, the Ghost made her way to the women's bathroom. Don't ask me how we convinced ourselves that the bathrooms were the secret to the success of our mission, but once she made her way to the bathroom, the Ghost opened up the air vents to explore inside. I saw her enter the bathroom from the security camera and called her phone. I scolded her for getting distracted, but made a mental note about the air ducts. When the Ghost returned to the meeting, she said the phone call was from her mom. It was something along the lines of, "That was my mom. She told me I should have done the laundry because now the house is on fire." Thanks to RNG, this plan actually worked, and the guard encouraged her to leave immediately to go help her family, because diplomacy. Now we had all the information we needed. After a long planning session of how we'd steal the painting, we decided to go steal the identity of a new guard at the bank, and have the Faceman go to work as him. The Faceman would be able to plug a magical hacking device to the bank servers and give me remote access. To do this, we needed to mug the guard at his house. We all drove there in a van. The Muscle and I rung the doorbell, and the man answered. The Muscle yelled, "We're selling stuff!" The man, surprised, asked, "What kind of stuff?" I took the lead. "We're from Curtain Co., here to sell you the best curtains on the market." The man buys it, but says I'm perfectly happy with my curtains. He begins to close the door, but I quickly tell him about a special offer. The man continues to close the door, and in a panic, I draw my gun. The sound of a gunshot echoes through the neighborhood as the man falls dead on the floor. The team freaked out. That was not part of the plan. I personally don't even know why I did it, other than because of sheer panic. Quickly, we stole his keys and wallet. That's when the Muscle saw a neighbor, standing on their own driveway, a shattered coffee cup at their feet. They were greeted with the same end as the man we came to steal the identity of. With 2 dead bodies, the rest of the team wasn't going to worry about getting mixed up in this and drove away, leaving the Muscle and I alone. The Muscle and I stole the man's uniform and loaded the body into his own car, driving away. The police were able to find and chase us. The Muscle was driving while I sat in the back seat. As the police got closer, the Muscle makes a split-second decision to pull over. The Muscle pulls over. cops order that we get out of the car and get on the ground. I hide in the back seat while the muscle decides to instead just restart the car and drive off, taking a bullet to the side. And thus the chase was on. From the back seat I got a few lucky rolls and shot out the tires of some of the pursuing cops. The muscle was able to navigate us to the freeway and we make a mad dash at 130 miles an hour. The cops are in hot pursuit. I was able to shoot out some more tires of the pursuing cops while the muscle was able to keep us at a safe distance. Eventually, the muscle makes a quick exit and only 3 cops are able to follow us. We take our chase into the city and I try and shoot out some more tires. This one was a terrible miss. My bullet misses the cop cars and goes into the windshield of a passerby. The driver, an elderly woman, is showered in glass as the bullet relieves her grandson of 2 of his fingers. The muscle makes a sharp turn and is able to lose the cops, taking us into a parking garage. We can hear the sounds of a helicopter outside. I'm able to pick the lock of a Honda Civic and get it started. The muscle is able to drive us to the safe house without further incident while I hid under a blanket in the back seat, the body in the trunk. There was a news story that a civilian was murdered after witnessing the robbery of the neighbor's house, and the neighbor was still missing. But at least we had a disguise. We burned the body in the forest out back. The team went on a long shopping spree to collect equipment for the heist. I was hiding out in a garage in our second getaway car. We had 2 of them so that way we could get to our safe house in a different car than we left the bank in. Just in case. The face man entered first, posing as the guard. His disguise went off without a hitch. The muscle and the ghost scaled the side of the building with a rubber grappling hook and entered the air vents on the roof. They found their way down to the vault and waited for my signal. I told the face man via an earpiece to plug my magical hacking device into the server. He entered the security room and walked towards the server room. A guard, who was watching the security footage, asked, "What are you doing?" The face man responded with, "Routine checkups?" Thanks to his gold-tier charisma skills, the guards believed him without further questions. The face man plugged my magical hacking device into the server and I relaxed as I shut off the camera, smiling at my job well done. Whoops. The plan was actually to loop the footage, and the guards were freaking out that the cameras had just gone out. I quickly turned them back on and looped the footage instead. Guards calmed down and went to remove the magical hacking device from the server. It looked just like a regular little flash drive, so they removed it and called the face man into the security room for questioning. Meanwhile, the muscle and the ghost were picking the locks of several high-security cages leading for the Van Gogh. The face man was asked if he knew anything about the flash drive. Terrible role, but thanks to his charisma skill, he isn't sunk yet. They asked him why he didn't mention it after his routine checkup. The face man insisted that he believed it was part of a system update. They grilled him for a little bit. The face man apologized, saying it was only his second day at work, which would have been true for the guard we murdered, and that his house was robbed yesterday. The security officer says, "Wait, that robbery on the news, was that you?" The face man confirmed this, explaining, "Luckily, I was staying with family that night." The face man was let go, free to go on lunch break. While the ghosts and the muscle were picking locks, they were uncovering a cacophony of things, such as stacks of gold bullions, a collection of gold-plated swords, a stack of child's drawings, a Da Vinci painting, and finally, the Van Gogh. The muscle was curious, though, and opened the last crate they hadn't opened. It was full of dead bodies, which was quite a surprise. They decided to just take the Van Gogh and the Da Vinci they'd found and get out. We soon ran into a problem. Both the Van Gogh and the Da Vinci were attached to their frames and couldn't be rolled up. They were 6 feet across, so there's no way they'd fit through the air ducts. We needed to form a plan. What did we do? Well, I don't know. We ended the session there. It was running kinda late. Plan on continuing sometime, except we haven't exactly been able to schedule the next session yet, but I'll let you know in part 2. I hope you enjoyed this story, and let me know what you think in the comments. Has your group ever formed a plan that just went totally out the window and off the rails? I'd be interested to hear your experiences. That's it for this video. Until next time, bye-bye.